Let's jump right into a crazy but entirely true premise. Imagine this. The exact day you were born, someone decides to start investing just one single dollar for you. Not $100, not $10, just one single dollar a day. Literally less than the change you'd lose in your couch cushions. We live in a world where we're constantly bombarded with flashy montages of mega mansions, luxury sports cars, and these wild overnight crypto success stories. But today, in this explainer, we are going to look at the quietest, most unglamorous path to wealth you could possibly imagine. We're going to calculate exactly what happens when you step back and just let time do the heavy lifting.
So it really brings up the ultimate question, right? Could a single dollar a day actually turn someone into a millionaire? We really need to tackle this head on because there is this massive misconception out there. Most people honestly believe that to build serious wealth, you need a huge six-figure salary, you need to live like a complete hermit and save every penny, or you just need to get incredibly lucky. But what if the biggest factor wasn't actually how much money you invest? What if financial freedom isn't just VIP access for the ultra-rich, but is actually completely available to ordinary folks, as long as they have enough runway? To understand how this is even mathematically possible, we have to talk about a concept that feels almost like magic. Albert Einstein supposedly called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. Now, whether the brilliant physicist actually said those exact words or not, the core truth is incredibly powerful. The real secret to massive wealth isn't about the sheer volume of cash you inject into the market. It's actually about how long that cash sits there, gathering energy and multiplying itself totally in the background while you go about your daily life.
Think of it like the ultimate snowball effect. Picture a tiny, seemingly insignificant snowball sitting at the very top of a massive, snow-covered mountain. You give it a little push, and it starts to roll. At first, nothing really happens. But as it rolls down, it gathers more snow, gaining mass, and eventually picking up terrifying speed until it becomes this completely unstoppable avalanche. It's like planting a tiny seed that grows into a massive tree. That tree grows branches, those branches grow their own branches. Compound interest is basically your money earning money, and then that brand new money going out and earning even more money for you. So here is exactly how that snowball builds its momentum behind the scenes. Step 1, you invest your dollar today. Let's say you earn a standard 10% return over the year, so now you have $1.10. Next year, you earn another 10%, but here is the trick. This time, you aren't just earning it on your original dollar. You're earning interest on that extra 10 cents too. You just keep repeating this. Now, at first, the growth is practically invisible. It is painfully, agonizingly slow. You might look at your account and think, this isn't even doing anything. But give it enough time and the math violently accelerates. That tiny spark suddenly becomes a giant explosion. What's truly fascinating is how perfectly this wealth creation mirrors a human life. Just imagine a fast-moving time-lapse of a baby growing up. Every single day, a dollar gets tucked away, $365 a year. That baby grows into a child. After 10 years of childhood, that total investment is worth about $6,000. Not bad, right? But watch what happens as they grow into a teenager, and then a young adult. By year 30, right as their career is really taking off, that initial $11,000 of total investment has suddenly ballooned to over $70,000. Notice what just happened there. The curve completely bent upwards. That money is now literally working harder and faster than the person is. And that brings us to what we really have to call the unfair advantage. We are so conditioned to think the people who win financially are the ones who make these aggressive, flashy moves, or the folks who throw massive piles of cash at the wall once they hit their peak earning years in their late 30s. But the math of compounding, it tells a completely different story. It tells a story where the tortoise completely, unapologetically obliterates the hare. We're about to look at a head-to-head race that absolutely proves starting early crushes investing heavier amounts later in life. Picture 3 racing lanes side by side. In lane 1, we have person A, who starts right at birth. Person B in lane 2 starts at age 20, and person C waits until they are 40. They are all putting in the exact same effort, exactly $1 a day. Fast forward to age 60. Person C, who started at 40, has around $30,000. Person B has a very respectable $180,000. But person A, the one who started as a baby, they are sitting on roughly $500,000. Think about that. Person A didn't pick genius tech stocks. They didn't invest huge piles of capital. They literally just let time do the heavy lifting for them. So the takeaway here is absolutely crucial. Time is the most valuable asset an investor can possess. It is the undeniable hero of this entire explainer. The person who started earlier wins every single time, even without investing a single penny more out of pocket. We get so caught up obsessing over interest rates or the perfect stock pick, but honestly, none of that matters as much as the simple ticking of a clock. The earlier you begin, the longer your hill is, and the more explosive that snowball becomes before it finally reaches the bottom. Let's push this to the ultimate climax, shall we? We've seen that $500,000 mark at age 60, but let's stretch the boundaries. Let's finally answer that massive question we posed right at the very beginning. If you let that single dollar a day ride from the day you are born all the way to a standard retirement age of 65, does it actually cross that elusive magical $1,000,000 finish line? Are we really talking about generating actual life-changing wealth from spare pocket change?
Well, the answer is breathtakingly close. If you invest $1 daily from birth to age 65, earning a historical average around 10%, you end up with approximately $800,000 to $900,000. Just take a second to let that sink in. Your total lifetime contribution, the actual money out of your pocket, was just $24,000. Yet, because of the sheer power of time and compounding, it transforms into nearly $1,000,000. It's almost unbelievable that an amount so incredibly small, literally the change that gets lost in your car seats, can build an entire retirement nest egg. But look at how easily we can cross that final threshold. If $1 gets you to 900 grand, what happens if you invest just $2 a day? Boom, suddenly you are looking at well over $1,000,000. $3 a day gets you over 1.5 million. $4 a day pushes you past $2 million. Simply rerouting the cost of a mediocre daily cup of coffee practically guarantees the millionaire dream for everyday, ordinary people. We're talking about real financial freedom, amazing family vacations, and retiring without stress. It is entirely within your reach. But this forces us to pivot to a deeply human question. If the math is really this simple, and if the barrier to entry is literally as low as a couple of dollars a day, why does almost everyone fail to do it? Why are empty savings accounts the standard norm? Why do we see so many people frantically trying to catch up in their 50s? Well, most people don't fail because investing is overly complicated or math heavy. They fail because of human psychology. The truth is, we are fundamentally wired for immediate rewards. The fleeting dopamine hit of buying a fancy coffee, ordering clothes online, or unboxing a brand new phone today, it feels incredibly tangible and satisfying. On the flip side, compound interest requires quiet, difficult, and honestly sometimes boring patience. You are trading the warm, guaranteed dopamine hit of today for a future that feels like a blurry mirage. And frankly, our human brains just aren't naturally built to value a distant reward over instant gratification. And because of that psychological wiring, we fall right into a trap. We tell ourselves, you know what, I'll start investing next year, when I get that raise, when I finally pay off this one specific bill. But next year quietly becomes 5 years. 5 years becomes 10 years. The clock is constantly ticking in the background, pages of the calendar are flying by, and suddenly people wake up wondering where all their time went. The cost of waiting isn't just a few dollars missed. It is the total loss of the most powerful multiplier you have.
So we really need to step back from our culture's absolute obsession with overnight success. We are constantly bombarded with stories of people getting rich quick, which makes the slow, methodical path feel totally inadequate. But the quiet reality of building generational wealth is so different. The real secret isn't finding the perfect magic stock before anyone else does. The secret is simply how long you stay in the game. It's so human to vastly overestimate what we can achieve in a single year, getting frustrated when we aren't suddenly wealthy in 12 months. But we completely, massively underestimate what we can achieve over 40 years of steady, relentless compounding. Wealth is built quietly. It happens in the background, one investment at a time, one day at a time, just like a single dollar coin multiplying in the dark. Small, consistent daily actions produce extraordinary, life-changing results if you just give them enough runway to take off. And that leaves us with our final, most important takeaway from this explainer. When you look at the entire life cycle of wealth, the biggest investment you will ever make isn't actually money, it's time. Every single day you are invested, that tiny snowball is out there doing the heavy lifting for you. The clock is always ticking, but it is never too late to start building your own momentum. So look at your own daily habits and ask yourself, are you going to keep letting time work against you, or are you finally going to let it work for you?